crazy lady appearance, and it's Saturday, and I don't know how turned up the volume is. I wear sunglasses inside, obviously, to try to keep the hair out of my eyes. It doesn't work. Anyway, it's Saturday. Saturday means chapter day. Chapter day means chapter 2 of Reaper Adventures Final Awakening, which is book number 5. And the really cool, awesome hardback cover. And we're on chapter 2 of this. And you want to make sure you don't bring your people kids, because it's not people kid friendly. We all know the reasons why. It's not because there's curse words, because there's no written curse words, there's no sex scenes, but there is the destruction of Jeromeson. There's a lot of fight scenes. I just say fight scene to include every single fight scene there is, but it's fight scenes. There's also the serial killer's murder scene, and a deal between the demon and the Archangel Michael, and obviously probably a whole lot more that I have yet to touch on, which will happen. Obviously next Saturday. It might be difficult to upload chapters after the 18th of May. But we'll see what we can do. Which means Saturday after May 18th might not actually have any uploaded chapters. Just a forewarning, I am having induced labor. So that's going to be difficult. But it's not like I'm not going to try. Because, yeah. I just don't expect the Saturday after May 18th to have a chapter. Moving on. We're on chapter 2 of Reaper Adventures, Final Awakening, book number 5. Holy shit, we're on book number 5. I'm really trying to make sure you see that. Chapter 2. It was a peaceful, sunny day that day. The Archangel Michael and Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order were flying above the town of Jeromeson, hovering just out of sight to be seen as angels, and within sight to be considered large birds. Because, yeah. Today was the unfortunate day that Jeromeson was to be destroyed. I did tell you that's one of the reasons you don't bring your people kids. And this is the chapter with the destruction of Jeromeson. Blood of my fallen enemies in caffeinated form. Moving on. Unfortunate day that Jeromeson was to be destroyed. This action had been approved in the hopes that the Nephilim and his allies would be drawn out. With that in mind, the Nephilim and his allies would then be recaptured and imprisoned once more. The Archangel Michael had not liked the plan, and though he did not like it, he did not have a choice. That's a horrible little sleepy. Moving on. His destruction would be guaranteed if he disobeyed the creators at this point in time. Everyone in the Angelic Order knew this. The Archangel Michael and Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order circled over Jeromeson one more time in a vain attempt to locate the Nephilim. When it proved unsuccessful, the Archangel Michael gathered a portion of his spiritual energy and used it to destroy Sisterhood of Angels, which, by the way, is a church in Jeromeson, because it just, somehow sounds like a church name. So, moving on. To destroy Sisterhood of Angels, hoping no humans were inside. That hope was false. The Archangel Michael heard screams of fear and surprise emerge from the falling Sisterhood of Angels. His heart sank, but he continued on his flight, destroying the buildings along the way and doing his best to tune out the sounds of screams as him, along with Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order, did this. I actually want to watch that show. Moving on. The Archangel Michael heard an almost inaudible whistle in the air and turned to see the silver scorpion-like tip of the demon's tail coming closer to his head. I think I can turn this music down. I really just put it on for background noise. doesn't always like to listen to me, but anyway, moving on. Tip of the demon's tail coming closer to his head. The Archangel Michael barely managed to dodge the demon's attack, but managed to grab the demon's tail before it escaped him. That sounds actually kind of painful. Yeah. Anyway, the demon hadn't expected the Archangel Michael to manage grabbing his tail. That kind of makes sense. He had only a split second of this realization before the Archangel Michael yanked the demon towards him by his tail. Ow. Moving on. The demon was almost unable to manifest his armor and sword. The demon blocked the Archangel Michael's counterattack and used the points of his wings in an attempt to make his own countermeasure. The Archangel Michael still had a hold of the demon's tail and tossed the demon away from him, releasing the demon's tail at the last second, which caused the demon to crash into one of the collapsing buildings. Now, mind you, these buildings are also probably on fire. They're not just collapsing, they're burning and collapsing. And that is really awful. Holy shit. Moving on. Continuing. The demon landed on the floor, his breath leaving his lungs with a whoosh of air. He picked himself off of the floor as the Archangel Michael landed in the building that was burning. I did say the buildings are burning, so. Continuing. Well, I have to say I'm flattered. All of this destruction for us? It almost reminds me of hell, the demon commented, smiling mockingly. The Archangel Michael was unfazed by the demon's statement as a sword appeared. The demon glanced at the Archangel Michael's sword and drew his sword as the Archangel Michael manifested his armor. The demon took a defensive stance, catching the Archangel Michael slightly off guard. He studied the demon's stance and realized with shock that it was the defensive stance the Archangel Michael himself had taught every member of the angelic order. Actually, that looks like an interesting thing. Continuing. You are no angel, the Archangel Michael said. So I've been told, the demon stated with an annoyed sigh. The Archangel Michael was about to lower his sword and leave the collapsing building when Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order landed behind the Archangel Michael. What are you waiting for? Capture him, Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order told the Archangel Michael and then flew away. The Archangel Michael frowned with slight displeasure and then struck. The demon blocked the blow and unsuccessfully attempted to disarm the Archangel Michael. The Archangel Michael had anticipated this, and the hilt of his sword hit the corner of the demon's jaw, causing him to stumble slightly as his head whipped to the right. No, that's the left, so right. Yeah. Oh, fuck off. I know my directions, I'm just not exactly inclined to think about the directions at all times. Moving on. The demon tasted his blood. His fangs had torn the inside of his mouth. He barely managed to block the Archangel Michael's next strike, using a wing as a shield. The Archangel Michael's sword sliced the demon's wing to the bone, nicking the bone in the process. Ow, God, wow. I write this, without really thinking about how painful it sounds, but then I read it out loud and I'm just like, ow, that sounds horribly painful. Moving on. This caused the demon to be forced to lower his improvised shield, which allowed the Archangel Michael's sword to slice deep into the demon's neck and throat. That sounds even worse. Sounds even more painful. Moving on. At first, the Archangel Michael thought he had somehow missed the demon's neck, until a thin line of blood appeared and the demon placed his left hand over the wound that had begun to gush blood. Blood collected at the corners of the demon's mouth as the Archangel Michael glanced at the blade of his golden sword to see the demon's blood was indeed on it, so he didn't miss, but I guess the sword's really, really sharp. I would assume that would be the explanation. However, I don't know much about that, so moving on. The demon fell to his knees. He knew he had been defeated. He had been expecting to be defeated. This was the Archangel Michael, after all, general of the celestial armies and prince of the heavenly hosts, the most experienced archangel when it came to defeating demons. Now you get a little bit of archangel history. Continuing. The Archangel Michael wasn't the only archangel experienced when fighting demons. The Archangel Raphael, though mainly known for being the patron saint of travel and healing, had defeated many demons alongside the Archangel Michael. The Archangel Raphael himself had defeated 2 higher-ranking demons without assistance. That is, in fact, in the research that I did, just so I could kind of get that right. So, yeah, that is on more than one site that says that he defeated 2 demons on his own. So we're going to continue now. Continuing without assistance. So the demon had expected to lose, no matter which archangel he fought with. The demon looked at the Archangel Michael, blood flowing from his mouth as the demon attempted to take a deep breath. Yeah, it didn't work out too well, no, did it? His wing was still wounded and blood was still pouring from his injured throat. The vein in his neck was only beginning to heal itself. The Archangel Michael removed the executioner's hood from where he had stored it and looked at the demon. Any other demon, and the Archangel Michael wouldn't have hesitated. However, the Archangel Michael knew the demon would view this as a disregard for the favor the demon was doing for the Archangel Michael. If you remember, and I believe it's at the end of the 2nd book, so you're going to have to catch up. Moving on. The Archangel Michael couldn't help making eye contact. He instantly regretted it. Behind the hateful glare was the tendril of fear every demon expertly concealed. Because, yeah, well, I mean, you're about to be imprisoned in a heavenly prison again. I think if a reasonable kind of, I don't want this worried anxiety type deal. Moving on. I wouldn't know. Soda. Or as I'm saying, the blood of my fallen enemies in caffeinated form. Because it is a red soda. So anyway, we're moving on. Was the tendril of fear every demon expertly concealed? The Archangel Michael had no knowledge that a demon was capable of feeling fear. Until now. Go, the Archangel Michael whispered as he put the executioner's hood away. The demon blinked, surprise replacing the heated glare. What? The demon managed to ask after a few garbled attempts. Because mind you, he just kind of had his throat cut. Yeah. Make it believable, the Archangel Michael said. The demon's ears flattened against his head, unsure if this was a trick or not. His wounds were healed enough now that he could manage to escape. You're letting me go? The demon questioned. The Archangel Michael was silent and then raised his sword, bringing it down and aiming for the demon's already wounded throat. The demon reacted on instinct. He sprang forward, driving his sword into the side of the Archangel Michael's chest, piercing his heart. The demon knew the Archangel Michael wasn't destroyed. First off, it's not something he wanted to do. Moving on. The demon removed his sword from the Archangel Michael when he slumped against the demon, unconscious. The demon lowered his hand from his still slightly bleeding neck and studied his slowly healing wing. Aerial combat wasn't an option at this point in time, and not the name Ariel. There's a different spelling for up in the air in the name Ariel, so we're continuing, which was an issue. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order was still able to become airborne. The Nephilim was currently tied to the pulpit of the historical church they were hiding in. The town was still being destroyed. The demon remembered that the Nephilim, though half angelic in nature, he could still die. After all, he was also human in nature, and he was tied to the pulpit of the historical church in a town that was still being destroyed. Damn it, the demon hissed as he ran out of the building just as it finished collapsing. He looked behind him and hesitated for a split second before continuing to head towards where the Nephilim was. He tried to take flight a few times and was unsuccessful in his attempts. His wing was healing slower than normal, which meant it was more than bone that had been nicked. Tendons, ligaments, and muscles had been neatly sliced as well. That was the only explanation for the slow healing pace. The demon sheathed his sword and began to run at his full speed, leaping over the charred bodies and continuous debris that was burning with the spiritual energy of both the Archangel Michael and Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order. That's a cool-ass picture. Moving on. The demon only saw movement in the corner of his eye. He instinctively drew his sword as he looked, only to have the butt of Bart's spear hit him directly in his nose. The demon couldn't stop his automatic response. He clutched his now broken nose, blinking back the despised tears of pain. "You're not so tough, are you?" Bart asked the demon when he looked at Bart. The demon studied the Reaper before him as he reset his nose so it could heal correctly. Bart wondered if he should retract his previous statement and aimed the point of his spear at the demon. Soda break. Caffeinated goodness. Moving on. The demon growled softly and felt the venom glands activate the poison in his tail and elongated pointer nails. Oh, I don't know if that's mentioned in early ones, but yeah, he does have venom. I'm wondering if it would be poison glands or venom glands. And should I write venom instead of poison or poison? Stay there. Anyway, moving on. Elongated pointer nails. He needed to end this fight before it could begin. Poison was the only way to accomplish this. He reached for his dropped sword, knowing the Reaper would take the bait, even if they suspected a trap. The Reaper did this. The Reaper did as the demon thought and was caught off guard when he felt the sensation of a needle prick when the demon moved much quicker than Bart had anticipated. Bart looked at his chest as the demon removed his nail. The elongated pointer nail, mind you. Moving on. Oops. The demon whispered as horrible, agonizing pain shot through Bart's body. The demon reacted to Ao's blurry form as Bart fell to the ground. What just happened? Oh, okay. Moving on. The point of his tail injected the poison into Ao's bloodstream, and he made sure they were both unconscious before testing his wing and picking up his sword. His wing was healed, and the demon took flight, wasting no time in reaching the burning historical church. I mean, I say I put the music on for background noise because it's background noise for you guys, but me, I like to see which ones kind of flow. But I always forget the names of the damn songs to begin with, which really sucks. Moving on. Wasting no time in reaching the burning historical church. He entered the burning church and saw the Nephilim was unconscious, dried blood on his wrists in his vain attempts to free himself. The demon swore loudly as he raced over to the Nephilim and began to untie the Nephilim. Because, yeah, it's a thing. Pain roused slightly and sank into unconsciousness again. The demon brought Pain outside the historical church and realized that Pain remained unconscious, barely breathing. "Smoke inhalation," a familiar male voice stated. The demon looked at the speaker and saw Seal Master Nathaniel. "Are you friend or foe?" the demon asked, his voice a low, rumbling growl. friend of the Nephilim, which means friend to you, at least for the time being. Sealmaster Nathaniel sighed. The demon studied Sealmaster Nathaniel and lowered the Nephilim to the ground. Sealmaster Nathaniel began to draw the smoke out of Payne's lungs. The demon spotted Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order circling above, and prepared himself for a fight. The Archangel Michael joined her, and after a short discussion, they flew away from the now destroyed town of Jeromeson. The plan had not been a success. The Nephilim's allies had escaped recapture, and the Nephilim had not shown himself. There was no reason to linger. Jeromeson was destroyed, and no one had been recaptured. It was time to leave. And that is the end of Chapter 2. Chapter 3 next week. I believe I could do Chapter 3 next week. But if not, then we'll just figure something out. So, yay! Oh, this capsule describes my general mood, along with the notification sound my phone makes, which is that of a screaming goat. It is pretty damn funny. Why I just told you that, I don't know. Oh. But that was the end of Chapter 2. We'll shoot for next week for Chapter 3, but if that doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen, and there's not much I can do about that. So, that's that. End of Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is now complete. We'll see you for Chapter 3 on next week, but we'll just have to see. I'll keep you guys updated and update chapters when I'm able. But anyway, I have some accounts if any of you are all interested. I have a Wattpad account, which is at Tempesta771. I have a TikTok account, which is at AirjunCraven2. No uppercases or spaces. I have an Instagram under the name of Tempesta Braveheart, no uppercases or space. I have a Facebook under the name Airjun Craven. And if you turn out to be really, really kind of just, stalker creepy, you're going to be blocked because, no one likes stalker creepy. Social media wise or not. So anyway, my Facebook is under the name Airjun Craven. My Snapchat also happens to be under the name Airjun Craven, but my Snapchat has no uppercases or space. And we're watching my YouTube, which is under the name Tempesta Braveheart. So, YouTubey booby. Yep, there we go. Yup tub YouTube. Blood of my fallen enemies in caffeinated form. But that's that. And we'll shoot for next week for Chapter 3. But if that doesn't happen, we'll just have to be extremely irregular in the uploading of my chapters. But yeah. Peace out, Girl Scouts, and enjoy the mental hilarity.